Hi everybody and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look at some example questions for our 1.3 video. So the part of the video that we're actually going to focus on is drawing area models. So this should help you with the last three questions on the worksheet for today. You got Winnie, me, and Clover all in the chair here. So if you hear dog noises, apologies, but they want to learn about area models today too. So the biggest thing for area models is understanding the individual probabilities of two things that are happening at the same time. So before you can start drawing that area model, you need to understand each individual probability. And what I mean by that is if we look at our spinner here first, we need to know for each color what is the probability that that happens. So the probability of red, they're all three the same size, so it is 1 out of the 3 choices. The probability of green, again, they're all three the same size, 1 out of 3 choices. Probability of blue, again, all three the same size, 1 out of 3 choices. So each have an equal chance of being taken. There's 3 of them total, so each one is 1 out of 3. At the same time that we spin the spinner, we are also rolling a 6-sided die. So if we look at your standard 6-sided die, what we're going to see for that, the separate second event here is that we have 6 outcomes. You can roll a 1, you can roll a 2, and so on. And the idea is for each roll, out of the 6 sides, each roll represents only one of those 6 sides. So I'm just going to finish writing these in. So the idea, again, every single probability has a chance of 1 out of 6. A common mistake on this is people say, okay, if I roll a 2, the probability is 2 out of 6. The number is 2, but there is only one side of the die that has a 2 on it. So because there is only one side of the die that has a 2 on it, it's only 1 out of 6 probability. So just be careful with that. The probability for all of the sides of a die are actually the same. So we now need to jump into drawing this area model to represent this. And these are pretty tricky. I'm going to try to use this ruler as best as I can. And it's definitely not going to be easy. So 3, 4, 5. All right, so I made it 12 long. I'll see if I can make this 12 tall as well. Nice even side lengths. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Technology. It's amazing what it can do for us. All right, there we go. Okay, I can move my little pen thing off to the side here. And again, I recommend being just as careful if you had a ruler when you're drawing these, because being careful now makes it more accurate. I'm gonna say immediately make a mistake, so check me here, make sure I'm not doing anything silly. Okay. So on your area model, what we have to remember is that there's 2 things that are happening. So on one of the sides here, we have our fancy die with 6 sides, and then on the other side, we have our spinner. So for each of these, we have to make sure that we are giving an exactly equal part to the sides that they have. So for our spinner, there's only 3 outcomes. We have to make a mark that's exactly 1/3 of the way down. So there's 1. So because there's 3 different outcomes that can happen, we want to split this box sideways into thirds. Now I was strategic about this. I chose the number 12 down because I could cut 12 into 3 parts. So I knew that each of these 3 parts could be the same. For the die, hold on, the dogs are hearing something, I'll be right back. But for the die, the idea, unless Winnie wants to jump into the video here, is that we want to do the same thing. So we have 6 different outcomes for the die, so what we have to do is cut it into 6 different parts. So see if you can take a look at what that would look like, and I'll jump into dividing into 6 parts in just a second here. So the dogs had enough. They wanted to leave the room. So now we're back. Okay, so 6 different parts, which means we got to be careful. So here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Okay. So So drawing these straight up and straight down should give us something like this. So basically, if you have an equal probability of everything happening, you're dividing each side into its sample space. So the die have 6 different outcomes, which represent the sample space. I'm just listing them right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And our spinners have red, green, and blue. That is the sample space of the spinners. So if you take a look at our area model now, what this is telling us is that everything here is red, everything here is green. I was never good at coloring in the lines. And everything here is blue. The second thing is that everything here you roll a 1, everything here you roll a 2, everything here you roll a 3, and so on. And that's how you draw a sample space. Now the key to this is once you get to this point, all that you have to do is just look for an individual piece. So if someone is asking you for, I want to see what the probability of getting, green and 3, what you would say is, okay, it's right here. It's equal to that piece of the pie. So it's equal to proportionally that segment of what we have here. So we have 18 total slices of this pie. So it's 1 out of the 18 slices is both green and 3. And that's the idea, and that's the power of our area model. The area of that piece represents its probability. So that's what I'm asking you to do, is to draw models like this. They don't have to be quite as perfect or exact, but as long as you're estimating and you're understanding, listing the sample space on each side, and that basically the area on the inside represents the probability, then we are getting the concept for today. So again, hope this video helps. Hope you can see that you're just breaking it out into 2 separate events, 1 on each side, and that should be the great first step for solving these area models.